So today's video is going to be eight tips for studying any literature text that you might have to study. I'm no expert in English. I'm currently resitting my GCSEs, as a lot of people know because I've made it quite public on this channel. So, but I do like reading. Like, I will go get what I'm currently reading and I will show you because it's interesting. Like, I will talk more detail about the book when next month when I do that video. It's this book, Artful Dickens, which I do need to read quite a bit more because I'm literally trying to finish it before Vlogmas because I want to be reading some nice Christmassy books in Vlogmas. Those books I like reading in Christmas time, so it's a way to document that sort of literature, so I have some tips on how to study any English literature text, whether it's a classic, Shakespeare, good old Dickens, whatever it is. Let me break it down into manageable chunks. At the moment, I am trying to get my head around Dracula and then move on to Frankenstein, which is not really my thing. I've never read the book in my life, so I've got to do a lot more work. Also, in some books, there are so many themes. So, some books are just flooded with quotes. Tip 1 is to read the book for fun. I know for some people the idea of reading for fun is not something enjoyable and the furthest thing from fun. I have a cup of tea. It would be me if I didn't drink anything in a video. I understand it. I know people that are not really into reading. You need to think, if you want to do well at reading this book, you need to read it in your own time. I know reading some book you're studying are so boring. I find the idea of reading Romeo and Juliet so boring, but I did the work I needed to do to help me to do well while studying such a boring book. It's because Romeo and Juliet's like well famous and everyone knows it, so you don't even need to read the book really to know. So it's like the hardest thing about studying it is you know what's happening already and it's really hard. I don't know why AQA would put such a famous text in there, but that's a little side note. Read the book in your own time allows you to have a deeper understanding of the novel as a whole. Especially if you're doing it chapter by chapter in class, it allows you to pick up on literary devices, what the characters are like, and just what happens in later chapters that you will know because you've read the book. Also, reading this piece of literature for fun changes the way that you go about studying the novel. For some people, the idea of being forced to read makes them hate the idea of reading and means they find it harder to read for fun, and also makes them hate the literature, whereas going out of your way to read it changes your viewpoint on that piece of literature. Not that I really sort of changed my opinion on Romeo and Juliet, because I just didn't. Number 2, context. Context is my favourite bit because I like history, but I did not enjoy studying history when I was at school because I found the topics so boring. And a little side note here, the topics we did: Crime and Punishment, Pevensey Castle, the Elizabethans, Vikings, and I think that is it. I'm not sure. But combining history with English is like my favourite. Why I like context. I think it's important to learn about the time period a book is set in because it will understand when the book was set, the time it was written, what the author's life was like living in that time period, all that good juicy stuff. Whether it's studying 1920 for The Great Gatsby, the Gothic era, Frankenstein, so do your contextual research. You could even read more books set around that time. Number 3, chapter summaries will become your best friend. I use chapter summaries for Dracula. It is broken down into the important things in the chapter. This helps when you are studying to just have summaries of chapters. Also, for revision purpose, it means you quickly see the point in that text. I really like some chapter summary mind maps, which if you watch any of my study vlogs, you'll see that. Chapter summaries are broken down. You also appreciate the key events in the text. You can use Spark Notes or other online resources. I recommend Course Heroes because it has chapter summaries for Dracula, so use them if you're doing Dracula. For every chapter you should find key quotes. You can either write them down on a post-it note that you put in the page you found the quote on, or if you prefer to highlight key quotes. Write them out in your chapter summaries. Stick quotes on post-it notes. Put them around your house if you're prepared to commit to it. Make posters. My maps too work, and now that it is what I use a lot of. Number 4, very similar. Make some character summaries. Do character summaries for all main characters. Do some for the minor characters because we know exam boards. Well, I don't so much because I never sat my English exam. But you could get a question on a minor character and we don't want to be like, ooh, I don't know that. Take a character, get all the key quotes. I would learn as many quotes as possible. Get quotes that aid your understanding of that character or help contribute to a theme that your character contributes to. Number 5, mind maps and discussions with other people. For some subjects, mind maps don't help me revise. Like science, I don't think I got a better grade than using a mind map than what I was already doing, probably. But mind maps also help to develop ideas. Alongside that, do past papers. That is the perfect combo for revision. You can use mind maps to help you revise. You can use mind maps to blurt down ideas, blurt down quotes, develop ideas. Talk to people, see what ideas they have in lessons. It can be scary, but put your hand up and share ideas. Listen to other people's ideas. Really pay attention in class to what other people think because you can build on other people's ideas. And you could also build other people's ideas into your own, or bounce off someone else's ideas and expand on it. 6 goes alongside it. Alternative interpretations. Being open-minded to changing your opinion. At GCSE you can be genuine that some people may argue that this is bad, that Dracula is more monster than man, I think. I mean, that some people may say that Dracula is more monster than man, or some people could argue that Dracula is man as well as monster because he does human things like chores rather than have servants. I don't know, but you get what I mean. This is like so bad what I've just said. 7. Perspective, narrative, form, genre. Think about how the writer might have written the book. Think about why the author's written this book in this way rather than writing the book in this way. What was he thinking about? What were they thinking about at the time? Is the book in first person, third person? How does the narrator feel? How does the narrator's feelings change? Is it past tense, present tense? Is it set in the future? What is the book form written in? Frankenstein, it's a postulary. Then there's letters and things in there. The Great Gatsby is written in retrospect. Makes you wonder what the truth is in the book, and have things been altered? Have things been changed from the time? 8, and this one is more towards an exam. How to remember quotes. Posters are a great thing. Chuck loads of relevant quotes onto your poster. It helps put drawings on your poster, flashcards, which don't work for me, but put themes on them, put a quote on them and learn them like that. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in another video.